How do you know if your space you live or work in is healthy? What does it even mean? Let's talk about air. So today we're often talking about outdoor air pollution. But what if I tell you that the indoor air pollution is far more dangerous? Indoor air is typically 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air. In some cases, it can be up to 100 times worse. Why? Because indoor spaces are closed systems. Unlike the open air, which allows pollutants to disperse, enclosed spaces trap them. So every time we cook, we clean, we paint, or even breathe, we release particles, gases, and toxins. And in poorly ventilated rooms, these pollutants accumulate faster than they can escape. And the result is the invisible buildup of chemicals, allergens, and toxics, right where we eat, sleep, and breathe. So this leads to what is known as a sick building syndrome. This is a condition where people experience health issues without a clear cause, and the common factor is the space they're in. So the most common symptoms are the asthma, sinus infections, headaches, skin irritations, back and neck pain, nausea, fatigue, and low immunity. But also the psychological effects are just as serious, such as poor concentration, low motivation, anxiety, and depression. So there are 4 main causes of sick building syndrome. External pollutants, such as soil, air contamination, and noise. Lack of sunlight, which can disrupt our hormonal balance, toxic emissions, which are released from almost everything found in interior, and our internal toxins, so the acetone, the alcohol, which our body release. So this is very important to understand and include in interior design project process. So let's take a closer look at the most common and often overlooked sources of the indoor pollution. So first, and the main one, is the formaldehyde, which is present almost everywhere. So in the carpets, in the furniture, synthetic textiles. And it's important to notice because it's a known carcinogen that can linger in the air for months. Then almost all standard paints that we are using for the walls, so the paints, the finishes, they contain a lot of VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds that actually slowly evaporate into the air long after application. And then synthetic materials, synthetic carpets, synthetic furniture. The other sources such as cleaning products, different mattresses, everything which can actually harm our indoor air quality and bring to indoor air pollution. Wherever possible, choose natural materials. Just like our skin breathes better in natural material, so does our homes. Another overlooked element in the interior is the light. We tend to spend 80 to 90% indoors. Some people even more. So this means that we are not receiving the full spectrum light. This is why many people experience symptoms of SAD, that means seasonal affective disorder. And the symptoms are low energy and fatigue, depression and irritability, cravings and weight gain, and anxiety and poor sleep. Sunlight directly affects our glands and our hormonal balance. Without enough light, our bodies produce too much melatonin. That means leaving us tired, unfocused, and emotionally flat. So it's important to understand this, and what you can do is to spend at least 30 minutes outside every day. You can bring in sunlight in your homes as much as you can, or reflect the daylight, or if you have some dark areas, maybe even using full spectrum bulbs. So I do understand that it's not possible always to live in a perfectly healthy homes, especially if you're living in the cities. But what we can do is to have more informed choices. My name is Tamara Gavrić, and my mission is to raise awareness of how our spaces can affect our well-being and how design can change that. Because if we include the air, the materials, the colors in the space and understand truly the space, we can pass to designing a space to healing it.